Hi, we're Raj and Pablo. This is Love Bollywood on the BBC Asian Network.
Now we're in a location in central London because two big stars are here to promote their movie Guzaarish. Yes, we're talking about
AISHWARYA Rai Bachchan and Hrithik Roshan. It's Sanjay Leela Bhansali's big magnum opus.
We're all looking forward to the film, but what we're really looking forward to is catching up with the stars. Now they're here and they're talking to us so we can share it with you. So without further ado, we're going to go and check out Ash and Hrithik. See you later. Guys, Hrithik and Aishwarya, welcome to Love Bollywood on the BBC Asian Network. Always a pleasure meeting you guys. And we know you've come straight from Dubai. You're flying tonight as well, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So
this evening, yes.
Where are you off to this evening?
Back
home? Oh, so you just came to see us?
Just for you.
Oh.
All the way.
See, that was our Guzaarish. That was our Guzaarish.
Oh, very good for you for this
well
time.
Done.
Guzaarish is the big release. Ash, give us your take on the film. Just tell us a bit about the movie.
It's a Sanjay Leela Bhansali film. If that says anything, I'm sure it says a lot. A very sensitive story, a beautiful, beautiful love story. And it's a story of Ethan Mascarenhas, played by him, and Sophia, played by me. And I never like to give too much of the story away. I'm sure you guys have already done your reading. But I think the rest is, you have to go experience this movie. It's not a movie that's going to be just viewed. It's going to be an experience, because that's what it was for us making it, for sure.
Hrithik, for you, from what we know, and correct us if we're wrong, you just read 5 minutes of the script, but it was Sanjay Leela Bhansali and you went, yes?
True. In those 5 minutes, he made me cry and he made me laugh. And I just had no choice. I heard myself say, when do we start? And after that, this whole journey has, I mean, it's, I can use a lot of words like marvelous and beautiful and fantastic and stuff, but I don't think they will be enough. Trying to describe this journey of Guzaarish for me is like trying to describe the beauty of nature, you know, with life and death and day and night. There's some magical stuff that's happening that, you know, you just can't describe, you can't put into words. And just like nature for me, it's beyond judgment. It's not good or bad. It just is what it is. It's some kind of wonderful. And
but were you scared in the sense of like,
of course,
the characterization is
I was very
complete
scared.
departure?
Yes, of course I was. But the story, see, as an artist, you're a slave to your vision, you know. So he instilled that vision in my head, and once I could see it, you know, then you're just, you know, you'll do whatever it takes to get there, you know. So of course, the first and foremost thing is information. You know, you have to understand, you have to learn the life of a quadriplegic and what does that person go through and what does he think.
Just explain that for some of our viewers and listeners who may not know.
A quadriplegic is someone who has been through maybe an accident or you know, a tragedy where you lose first of all sensation, neck down, and you lose the movement of your body, neck down. You have no control. So all that moves is your head and maybe some of your neck and your shoulders. But apart from that, you're just confined to the bed or the wheelchair. And there are so many people who live like this. And I've had the good fortune to have shared some time with them and to understand a very big lesson in life. You know, and that's the gift that I received in this film. And that's the gift that I think the film carries within itself for the people who will watch this film. Because I promise you, after you watch this film and you walk out of the theater, wherever you are, whoever you are, no matter what your problems are, you will come out and you will smile and you will say, it's okay, life is good. Now I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to make it work, you know, no matter what my problems are.
For this gift of life that you have.
And I'm saying this beyond all the entertainment and all the fun and all the, you know, Sophia's dancing and the drum playing and all the other stuff.
It's a human story. Yeah. Situationally, it is the circumstance.
Yeah. Subconsciously, this is what comes through.
But at the end of the day, it is their human story. It's their love story that's
when you're
being
doing
told.
something, you play the nurse. When you're on set filming, did it get quite emotional?
Yes, it did. Of course, I mean, it's when you are, but it's a kind of a release, you know.
Almost cathartic for the whole team.
It's cathartic, correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, when you are about to get into a scene, you know, you sit around and you discuss and you share your ideas, and we were also very, very spontaneous in this film,
Yeah,
actually.
we talk
you know,
about it. We
because
talk about the moment,
it's such an
exchange
organic,
thoughts.
space.
Maybe like where we're coming from at that point in time, because at the end of the day, it's different moments within Ethan's life while he's in his room in his house, and you know Sophia comes in and out of that space. So when you're having these moments, so we'd probably discuss what frame of mind we were in at that point in time, or just before it, or what could have happened earlier in the day or later in the day, and so on and so forth. So more what happened around necessarily just a particular moment that we're trying to create. But we try and keep that as spontaneous, so that would be true. There'd be some magic that would happen along the way. And I've worked with Sanjay before, and I know that's what he likes, and we love. We love that kind of working, because it's
We're very
just
fortunate
evolved.
that way, because
You know?
as a team, you know, if you don't have that equation where you can sit and discuss, you know, then it's impossible to create something of any worth, you know. And on this side, I think, of course, we all have our equations, and we all are, you know, there for that one single purpose of making a great film. But we were completely without
We're
any
all
egos.
obsessively passionate about what we do.
So we understand
firstly.
each other, and so.
Sanjay's got this reputation of being very kind of precise and with a temper. What was he like on
Nothing.
set?
I
Is
don't
that-
think
No?
that ever. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Is that true? Because I mean, I didn't experience it even
I'm
for one
hearing
day.
this all this time. It's
Yeah.
really strange, and it's my third time with him. But I don't know where along the way this reputation has got attached. But then, you know, all kinds of adages get attached to all of us. And it's unwarranted, we know for a fact, because the only thing I'd say is that all of us, like I just said a minute ago, is we're passionate about what we do. We like what
might,
we
yeah.
do, and you seek that particular
You might misconstrue the
Passion.
when you see him obsess about something and you don't understand it, because your level of passion is not at the same.
But then when he does
at the
obsess
same
to
level
that,
as his.
but when he
yeah.
does do that
But
on
we
set,
got that. You see,
Yeah.
we get that because
we were right up there with him.
because we are probably the same. It might show itself in different ways.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's probably the commonality. That's why for us, it was never, nothing has ever been an eyesore, or nothing really jumped or stood out as, oh, this is a different kind of approach, or this is a personality trait that we don't get. It's absolutely just passion for your craft, for trying to create something new, to create a special moment. And we're all like that. So,
but when you
so
do
we were
a
totally
Sanjay
at
Leela
home.
Bhansali film, there's like this huge expectation that comes with it, because he set the boundaries so high. Are you feeling any of that pressure
Now?
with Guzaarish?
No. I'm delighted that I could put a smile on his face. Every day that I, you know, went back home, I was just relieved and happy that I saw him smile. You know, and that's
Sanjay
that was
just
amazing
loves
for me.
doing what he does, and I think he I mean, the rest of the world doesn't know him intimately enough, and
He's
that's
a loving
precisely
man.
why
He's a very sensitive person.
we all kind of assumptions made. But the fact is that he just loves cinema. He loves his world of cinema. He loves creating, and that's what he obsesses over, and that's the world he lives in. And probably that's why people don't know enough, and so all the other ideas.
Now, going back to you with reference to this role, this was the first time ever you stopped working out.
Yeah.
You ate street food.
Sorry?
You ate street food, and your doctor said you got ill.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
this is something that you never direct my way.
And all the help you had to give to his character.
There you go.
I guided him along the way. I gave him tips. You know, I was a very, very supportive co-star.
But well, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it though. Yeah, I mean, I was enjoying the idea that, you know, people are gonna like, you know, look at this and say, oh, well, what a
The
serious
chemistry
actor.
lunch break
Yeah.
was exceptional, wasn't
I
it?
binged on
another
patata
level.
vadas and samosas, and my God, it was incredible.
Was it difficult for you if you're, you know, like,
So
you're
No,
so
he loves
used to
his
it?
food. He loves his food, but he's incredibly disciplined, which is fantastic.
Take a leaf.
He's very. Everybody could take a tree.
You could say something about yourself.
No, please. Nobody is as disciplined as him because he really loves his food. And I didn't believe it when we were doing Dhoom,
Yeah.
but I heard it from Uday and Abhishek, and
Yeah.
since they're childhood friends, and they were like, no, really. And he's like, now do
We've
you
had
believe me?
competitions and I have won. I have won.
I was shocked, but yeah, but yeah. So it's just that he's incredibly disciplined, but he loves his food. He does.
And you did something unusual as well in this movie. You smoked a cigarette.
And
That-
coughed.
And
soon
coughed.
after.
That's a wonderful scene.
It was again, there were just these moments that he was
Magic.
spontaneously creating. And when you see it, you see why and how that comes to be.
Yeah, it's to be explained in the film.
It has
Right.
to be.
It's-
It
It's,
has
it's a
to be
beautiful moment.
Yeah.
seen.
But just like the fly on the nose
Yeah.
that we see in the trailers.
Was that
now,
a real fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fly is Mr. Bansali's pet fly.
Ah, okay.
He was vying for
Bringing
the
him up
debutante
for-
award
for
this
5 years,
year, and Sanjay's promised.
She expressed a desire to work with us.
Oh, wow.
So,
Please
Mr.
sign me.
Bansali, yeah. A lot of rehearsals, but
She could
eventually
wing
she did a
it.
good job.
I like that we made her a she, but
Yeah.
observation.
It could
I
be
think
a
it was a
sexual
show.
fly.
I think it was a she. Just didn't let go. You know?
So, in terms of Guzaarish with the film, what do you think? I mean, you mentioned that, the audience should leave thinking, it's
Empowered.
so empowered, life is great.
Not should. I'm sure that they will.
So what kind of journey will it kind of weave us through to get there?
Experience it and you'll know.
Ah, good answer.
Experience
good
the
answer.
movie and you'll know.
As I said, you can't put that into words. Through the journey of the film, through the visual and the audio visual medium, you can maybe.
Have a slice of life,
Yeah.
actually.
But will there be moments where we're going to cry watching it? Will there be moments when we'll laugh and cry?
Have you ever cried in life?
All
Many
the
a
time.
time.
All the
Well,
time.
then
I have
you
to
will
work
cry.
with him.
Yeah.
That means you're human. That means you will cry.
I think a smile on your lips and
you will
a
laugh,
tear
yeah.
in your eye. I think
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
the essence.
simplest way to explain it.
Basically, that I think the fly
Even
shot
the song,
that you've
Yeah.
said,
Sagram
that's the essence of the
Zindagi.
film.
I mean, if you just listen
Yeah,
to
it's
the
the essence of the
lyrics,
lyrics are one.
that's very telling about the simple, beautiful way in which we talk about life. And then again, I mean, this is not a lesson. It's an experience in the life of Ethan and Sophia, and that's what the viewer is going to experience. For us, we also call it one of the most beautiful love stories we have done. And
It's the most
together, I
beautiful
mean,
love
imagine we've done a Zoom at one end of the spectrum and Jodha Akbar at the other end of the spectrum, and this could
It's love
actually
and
be
love
yet
works.
another departure in terms of the kind of story we could tell together. And it's wonderful that Sanjay felt the need for the story to be told, and we are glad we're a part of it.
And did you listen to our radio show when you were doing the research? For
The radio show?
Our radio show when you were doing the research of being a radio jockey.
No, I did not specifically because I did not want to try something that would be impossible for me to do. Because you guys are so,
Well, what can we say?
you guys are so good.
Good answer
I-
and the right
That's the
answer.
right answer we like.
Never seen you two so sober, but wow. This suits y'all too.
No, it doesn't.
That's after you made us dance for you. That's never going to happen
She
again.
made us dance to Jorka Jatka. Like,
You
Yes.
guys didn't even need a nudge. You were there with your fro all green and orange and ready to kind of do the whole pelvic thrust.
Yeah, well. But yeah, going back to being a radio jockey, did it come quite easily? Did you think, okay, this is something that is quite easy to do?
Well, if I had to do it in real life, it would petrify me. I don't think that's easy at all. I think what you guys do is,
Oh, no, no. Oh, don't,
but
don't,
no, it's great. To be that spontaneous and to think fast and to be, but with Ethan, it just came naturally because, it's part of the script and there's a lot of emotionally entangled,
Within.
modulation I mean, there's a whole load there which comes from Ethan, so it became very easy for me to do that.
And it was beautiful that Sanjay thought of that aspect to exist in Ethan's life. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
'Cause
almost. I mean, I was like, wow, I'd actually like to suggest this to as many people who
Yeah, they can really help.
who have this experience in their lives, be it paraplegia or quadriplegia, because I think
yeah.
it's such a wonderful way. Music is healing to all of us
Yes.
as people. It's our best friend. We always say that. But to actually have the ability of to have a medium through which you can connect with people, with life, I think it's wonderful. It was just a wonderful idea, and it was the perfect fit and you'd see why and how, especially in Ethan's life, considering what he was doing before the tragedy and thereafter. I think it's a wonderful, it's beautiful what you all do.
The other thing is, like, we want to ask is, like, you know, the chemistry between you is fantastic, you know, from Doom to Jodha Akbar. Now there's this scene about feet.
Sorry?
You wash his feet in the
Why
movie.
are you looking so stunned?
Well, she's
That's a possibility.
You know what? When we
nurses, hello.
Was it a therapeutic
When we
massage?
first started talking about the film, the first thing Raj said was, "Yeah, Ash washes his feet," and I'm like, "Okay."
She washes his hair, she washes his feet, yeah, she cleans him up. She ensures he's got his blood circulation going well in his through his body, and basically, obviously, she takes care of him.
See, scenes like that now aren't
Our departure.
Our departure. They're not our usual Bollywood
Well, I'd
films.
just like to say that, you know, Ethan chooses to make light of that scene.
Right.
But the truth is that it's a very important aspect of a quadriplegic's life. You know, the massage is something that is needed because
It's not
otherwise,
just a massage, but
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way that you can sort of explain it.
Explain it,
that,
exactly.
You know, it's trying to make sure that the blood is circulating all over the body, and that's something that's done on a daily basis. You know. But of course, in the film, coming from Ethan, you know, Ethan's kind of a. I mean, I
It's
can't
the
really.
spirit.
I don't want to.
It's the spirit, which
There's a
is
spirit
incredible, and
about
the
him,
relationship
and
that they share,
the equation
which
that they share.
And
So,
Sophia
turns out
is
to be a
very
relief,
is
you
very
know.
serious and very contained, and she
Deep contrast.
yeah in her responses. So it's interesting how he manages to kind of get through that. And obviously, she's been a part of his life for like 12 years. So there is that immense degree of familiarity and comfort, where there can be so much shared, unsaid between the two of them.
he
And that's
keeps
also
trying,
what's
but he
been
can't
brought
break
to
through.
our equation on celluloid, which is new.
Yeah.
Which is what we hope, because we certainly experienced it on set on a daily basis. We hope our audience does as well. Where you see the comfort, the familiarity, the play between them. And it's almost like you almost can see them like a couple. But still, she refers to him as Sir. He's Sir. He's Mr. Mascarenas. He's Sir. And of course, she's Sophia to him. And so they have this kind of play. And through the narrative, you'll discover why Sophia herself has this really, really serious, almost stuck-up aspect to her temperament. So that's the narrative. You'll discover why.
So as people, as friends, and as actors, what did you learn from each other doing these roles as opposed to
Because
the
this
other
is so different from how we see you guys on screen.
Coming from the film, just in terms of, because I think I have been fortunate enough to have done characters that have had such good qualities that I have tried to imbibe in my life. But it's never been to the extent of this one, you know, because I remember my first meeting with one of the patients, and I walked into the room of this 27-year-old boy, right? And I was very awkward. I was a little, skeptical as to how it would be and what would I have to say, and maybe I'll have to make him feel good some way. But on the contrary, for 6 hours, that boy made me smile and he made me laugh. And once I came out of the room, it occurred to me that he was a quadriplegic. He's a quadriplegic, and he had the power to put a smile on my face and make me forget about my problems. So that's the responsibility that I took upon myself to portray through Ethan, the spirit, that these people live with. And that is something that I have learned in my life. That's what has helped me evolve, because every problem has a solution, and you have to enjoy this gift of life. And of course, you heard these things said thousand times, I've heard it all my life, but I never really got it, Through this film, I got it. I understood it, And that's what I have, I think, imbibed through this journey of mine.
So, let's talking about learning from films. Would you say that every time you make a film that's very meaningful for you, you learn something different about your own life? So it's not just what we see on screen or how successful it is.
That's
it's something that it gives to you.
With me, yes. I mean, having done just like I do one film a year. So, but the characters which I have chosen have really helped me, grow as a person and as an actor.
I just want to jump in at this moment in the sense, is it true, and maybe, and can you correct this, after meeting these people, you actually paid for somebody's operation?
Yeah, yes,
Can you tell us more?
It was just something that, is you just have to do. I could not leave without making sure that, because I got so much from them. I don't know who's taken care of who more. Have I taken care of them more, or have they taken care of me more? Because they made me smile, even now. Every third or fourth day, I get messages, I get jokes, so they always put a smile on my face. And now, of course, my mother is a part of this journey as well. She, visits them and she takes care of them as well. My sister, Suzanne, as well. So it's something that just makes us feel good, And there is one thing that I think I should say is that through the stem cell research and the operation, one of the patients, his name is John, he actually got back his use of his triceps. And for the first time in 7 years, he could remove his t-shirt and wear it back again himself. And that just watching him do that,
Yes.
again and again and again, because he was doing it for the first time in 7 years, it's overwhelming to see that you have helped someone, and it makes you feel so good. So I just want to say that there are solutions. If you just keep going, one never knows. Through the stem cell research now, they're very, very close to actually finding a
Cure.
A cure. Yeah.
And Ash, for you, like the high point of this movie, or what stands out for you?
Well, actually, I had said yes before I even heard the idea, because it was Sanjay to start with as a friend. When he shared the idea with me, I have somebody in my family who has been in this situation for most of his life, and hence most of my growing years. And so I was very familiar with the situation. So yes, I did meet some of the patients that people as the film unit met, but I already did know the situations. It wasn't like new turf for me or something that I needed to discover. And in fact, I found myself sharing a lot of observations with Sanjay throughout, and I'd tell him as well, because I was already familiar. But hence for me, it also has that kind of really special place where I was happy on a sensitive story being told, and certain aspects being brought to light and shared with people at large. Having said that, the truth is that their spirit is incredible. Their sense of humor is way more wicked than yours, and that's wicked. And that's wicked. Okay, and it's true, because they're so well read. Their faculties are just so tuned in. You're so alert. You're so such a sponge of life that it's kind of a lesson to us every single moment that truly be appreciative. Let the trivia be addressed just as that trivia, water off a duck's back, and embrace what really is meaningful and essential. And that's why we as a unit, as a crew of this film, felt that every moment was cathartic, because we could look beyond just scratching the surface of anything, of the lightest of moments and the most intense. I mean, everything wasn't so intense as probably it seems in our conversation right now. Yeah. But because we were genuinely just living a slice of life while making this movie. And to go to what you were asking earlier, when you said that, do you feel we come away with something when we're making movies or telling such stories? I think we as actors are so blessed that we actually experience so many lifetimes within a lifetime. And of course, there's always growth, there's always learning, there's always an experience. And we touch lives, we have the opportunity for life to touch ours, and it's superb. It's truly superlative.
The other big unique point about this film is the music. Sanjay Leela Bhansali's done the music, and it's an ode to Lata Mangeshkar, and she's blessed the music as well. What do you guys think of that? You know,
I just want to say that I don't think any person in the world could have justified the music of this film as just the way he has, because I think he just knew the film so well. He knew the.
Is that why he did it? Because he
felt
like
Absolutely.
he had
Yes.
to do it himself.
Yeah.
Sanjay's always done, he's contributed hugely to the music of his cinema because, like we said, he loves his music.
He can
really
see
does.
music.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
has the ability that you've seen in all his picturization.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's every bit of the orchestration that you see in a candle flame, or whether you see it in a curtain, or you see it in every little nuance. Music is
The way the camera moves,
everything.
everything is music.
It's
and music
everything,
is
very
on
lyrical.
the set all the time.
really?
It's
Yeah,
just
especially
it's
on
playing
this film,
all-
especially on this film,
in
because
this
I've
film.
worked on the other two, on this one especially, throughout.
There was music.
So we
every
weren't
single
surprised that he decided to actually compose the music himself,
moment.
and especially for this story.
He's also a great singer
No.
and a
Yeah.
great dancer.
Yeah,
We didn't know about the
Two of the
dancing,
secrets
but
that were revealed to us in this film.
no, I always knew it.
well, we're looking.
But the other thing is, talking about dancing, there was one dance sequence that you did for this movie that you found the most difficult ever. You're the perfect dancer in the world.
And we hear this about
Yeah.
you. You get really nervous
That's
before you
just
dance.
the sincere perfectionist in
Oh,
him.
come
You're
on.
always nervous before every.
Jazz,
You have no
ballet,
reason to be
was
nervous.
insane.
Really?
Went through some 4 weeks of.
It's always insane because like everybody else, he's super obsessive about getting it just right, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because you guys get to feast your eyes on that
Right.
kind of, you know.
Yeah, well, from my
Magic.
point of view, it's just about keeping up with the myth.
Yeah, he always
Blushing
says
now.
that.
You're blushing.
That's our line.
It is.
We kind of fight for copyright
And
on
now that
that.
there's a myth, I better do well, you know. Keep it going somehow.
Well, you know what? We're looking forward to watching the film. So good luck with it. Thank you very much for these great sports.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure
Did you have
seeing
one?
you.